I'm 32 and still single, not because I don't want to get married, but because I can't find anyone. Women my age are under crazy pressure now. Some are giving up on asking for a house, a car, or even a dowry, and instead they're offering dowries themselves. These days, offering $7,000 is hardly considered a significant amount. Some women are putting up $42,000, even $70,000 just to get married. As for me, I've given up. Maybe I'll spend the rest of my life alone. No bride price needed. I'm even willing to bring a dowry of $28,000 myself. I guess that's the common situation for women like me who are older and still single. Is getting married a must? Yes, I want to get married. I was born in 1996. I already have a house and a car. Both of my parents work in the public sector. Would it be okay if the guy's family is just average? I think that's great. I come from an average family too. And since I already have a house and a car, I don't expect much from the man's side. To me, life doesn't need to be perfect. Just having enough is already a kind of happiness. Simplicity can be better than perfection. Miss, may I ask how much dowry would it take to marry you? Honestly, I'd be fine without a dowry because I don't think a man's love for you should be measured by money. And dowry isn't and shouldn't be the only standard for marriage. To me, marriage isn't a one-person decision. It's something two people build together. Can I ask you, why do you think there are more and more older single men and women these days? If living alone is better than living with two people, I'd prefer to live alone. It's more exciting when you're alone, and it's exhausting to adapt to each other's personalities when you're with two people. So being alone is better. I'm not asking for a dowry, and I don't need a house or a car either. We're all just ordinary people. It's not like every family can afford $140,000. I'm with someone because I want to be with them, not because of money. In the end, it's the happiness between two people that matters most. In cities like Beijing and Shanghai, there are now hundreds of thousands of so-called leftover women, a term in Chinese society referring to women over the age of 27 who are still unmarried. In the past, it was said that only men couldn't find wives. There was no such thing as a woman who couldn't get married. Even women considered unattractive could still find husbands. But today, the situation has flipped. Whether in the countryside or the city, an increasing number of women, even those with good conditions, are staying single. Being in one's 30s and unmarried has become a common, even normal phenomenon. Why is this happening? A key reason is the rising cost of marriage in recent years. Men's attitudes toward marriage in China has also noticeably shifted. In many regions, especially in second and third tier cities, a man is often expected to buy a house before getting married, and on top of that, provide a large dowry to the bride's family. These financial burdens have caused many men to back away from marriage altogether, choosing instead to stay single. If a guy doesn't have a car or a house right now, would you still be with him? I think that's fine. To be honest, having a house or a car isn't a key factor for me when it comes to choosing a partner. I'm 165 centimeters tall and I'm 27 years old. Do you prefer a straight guy or a bad boy? A straight guy, I like someone genuine. What kind of guys are you into? I like cheerful guys, the sunny type with a buzz cut. If someone earns $700 a month, can they be in a relationship with you? Yes, absolutely. I don't have financial requirements. How much dowry would someone need to marry you? If I genuinely love him, then it doesn't matter. For me, it's totally fine. No dowry is needed. Wow, that's wonderful. If there was a standard bride price across the country, how much do you think would be reasonable? Around $8,400. I think that's about right. $8,400? Yeah. Where are you from? I'm from Anhui. Where you are, that's probably the basic amount. Back home, it used to be around $14,000. But just last Chinese New Year, when I went back, weddings usually cost about $15,000, and some even go up to $42,000. Do you think that's normal? Not normal. I think it's way too crazy. For an average family, it's impossible to find a bride. It's just too hard. It's no longer up for debate. Older single women have value, but there's no market for them in the dating scene. A lot of women used to say there were 30 million more men than women, but now the number of single women is nearing 100 million. Some older single women, even those who are divorced, come to me asking for a man with a house, a car, and $140,000 in savings, without considering their situation at all. Others treat wealthy men like fools, asking for expensive gifts on the very first date. Of course, the guy gets scared off immediately. A lot of older single women ended up that way because they were brainwashed by short dramas and TV shows, all pushing the same fantasy of a rich, overbearing CEO who constantly buys them gifts. From the first cup of milk tea in autumn to random $520 cash gifts, if a guy isn't 1.8 meters tall, he's seen as worthless. Men are ranked like products. These women have been brainwashed into thinking they're above everyone. If a man doesn't make enough money, he's called useless. If life isn't going well, they blame it on choosing the wrong guy. All the fault lies with someone else. No wonder more and more guys in Shenzhen don't even want to date anymore. Deep down, most older single women know they're in a position of high value but low demand. Even the least self-aware person figures out their place in the dating market after being tested a few times. But here's the thing, the best option for them isn't to lower their standards or sell at a discount. Instead, it's to hold the line and not budge, no matter what. This blogger's cousin is an older girl. Let me tell you about my cousin, my aunt's daughter. She's a top student from a 985 university, a few years older than me, and works at a publicly listed company in Beijing. I heard her monthly salary is around $4,200. She's also very attractive, fair-skinned and beautiful, with long legs and lives in a big city all year round, always dressing fashionably. My aunt and uncle are both retired public sector employees back in her hometown. Whether it's her personal qualities or her family background, you could say she's practically perfect. But would you believe it? She doesn't even have a boyfriend right now, let alone talk about marriage. I never thought I wouldn't be able to get married, but the truth is I'm already 42 and I really can't get married anymore. I also never imagined that at 42 it would be this hard to find someone, but in reality, within my social circle and at this age, it's nearly impossible. I also didn't expect that men don't go for older single women. No matter how capable a woman is, no matter how much money she can make, without a family, without having been married, without having had children, she's still considered incomplete. Right now, I'm at the Matchmaking corner in People's Park, Nanning. Looking around, you'll see that about 90% of the people here are women and their parents, and most of them are over 32 years old. I took a look at their profiles. Some are doctors, some are teachers, and some work in state-owned enterprises. Their qualifications are all excellent, so why are they still single? Because they're looking for men who are at least 1.75 meters tall, have a bachelor's degree or higher, own a house and a car in Nanning, paid in full, have a stable job, earn at least $28,000 a year, are emotionally stable, have high emotional intelligence, and of course they have to feel a spark with them. But men who can meet all of these criteria are scarce. Blogger Teacher Pang pointed out that even if some men do meet all of these women's criteria, they often only want to date young, pretty girls around 25 years old. At 32, Qingjia went on a blind date. She put on a brand new dress and even wore perfume for the occasion. The man she met was 34 years old, had a graduate degree, and worked at a state-owned enterprise. He said that when he first heard I was 32, he had already mentally passed on me, but after seeing me in person, he seemed pretty satisfied. I told him I'm currently not working, and he didn't seem to mind. He said it's a good thing because I could devote all my energy to preparing for pregnancy and having a child. In the end, he said that given my age, he's concerned about my fertility and insisted that if we were to be together, I'd have to be pregnant before we register for marriage. As expected, in this value-driven game called blind dating, everyone's primary goal is to protect their investment and secure their interests. Blogger Qingjia felt that the man's suggestion was a bit unsettling. After the blind date ended, she went for a walk alone by the river to clear her mind. Later, she received a message from him asking when they could meet again. Not wanting to lead him on, she politely turned him down. Older single women shouldn't come to matchmaking events anymore. It's not that we don't want your business, it's just that the wealthy second-generation men you're hoping to marry aren't going to choose you as their wife. Yesterday, a woman born in 1990 came by. She was gorgeous and she's a lawyer. That reminded me of a guy born in 1988 who works at a state-owned enterprise. I felt like the two of them were a pretty good match. I started to tell her about him, but before I could even finish, she cut me off and said she had dated several boyfriends before, all from family-run businesses with annual household incomes in the millions of RMB. She meant if the guy's family background isn't at that level, don't even bother introducing him. The blogger believes that for older single women, having dated rich second-generation men in the past isn't necessarily a good thing. In fact, such experiences can hinder their prospects when it comes to choosing a life partner. That's because rich second-generation men tend to be rebellious in their youth and often ignore their parents' opinions, especially when it comes to relationships. They usually want someone attractive, but in the end, they still have to introduce their girlfriend to their parents, and if the parents disapprove, it won't work out, because these men are financially dependent on their families and have little say in major decisions. Moreover, the rich second-generation men generally enjoy a high standard of living. They'll take their girlfriends traveling, dining at upscale restaurants, and staying at luxury hotels. So once a woman has experienced that kind of lifestyle, it becomes difficult for her to adjust to a relationship with a more ordinary guy. The emotional gap can be huge, and she may find fault with everyone she meets afterward. If she misses her prime window for finding a life partner, it becomes much harder to find someone truly suitable. When a woman reaches 30 and still hasn't met the one she truly likes, should she settle? I don't think so. Why not? Because I don't like the idea of settling. I'm 25 now, and honestly, I feel like there's no need to settle. If you meet someone who's a good match and you like them, then great, be together. But if you haven't met that person yet and force yourself to settle, if you don't even like the person, what's the point of being together? If you don't even give a bride price, how can you expect her to have your child? Why is it said that a bride price is necessary for marriage? First of all, this isn't about starting an argument or saying who's right or wrong. Let's talk realistically. Many men believe the bride price is unnecessary, viewing it as an outdated tradition. But let's look at it from another angle. If you're not even willing to make the most basic financial commitment, how can you expect someone to believe that you'll support her during pregnancy? You think just saying it is enough? Think about it. Once a woman gets pregnant, in most cases, she has to stop working. That means she loses her income, and on top of that, she has to deal with physical discomfort, emotional stress, and huge childcare costs. At that point, the only person she can rely on is you. Another older single woman has regrets. A few days ago, a woman born in 1988 came to sign up. She told me that back when she was younger, her family introduced her to many great guys, but she was too picky, always thinking someone better would come along. As the years went by, she just kept getting older. Now, the men she meets are nowhere near as good as the ones before. The good ones are already married, and the ones still single aren't interested in her. She's still alone now, and honestly, she regrets waiting. Believe it or not, a lot of older single women will end up alone. Why do I say that? Why are older single women being asked to lower their standards now? Because by her standards, there's no way a 1.85-meter tall, overbearing CEO would fall in love with a 35-year-old woman who's been out of the dating game for years. Many women say they're high-quality older singles and only want to date high-quality men. But here's the truth. Yes, there are quality women in the dating market, no doubt, but truly high-quality men? They're not out here searching through dating markets, and they're not looking for older single women. It's not that I look down on someone making $840 a month. I'm just being realistic. At that income level, it's hard to say someone is ready for marriage, at least in a city like Shenzhen. With $840 a month, chances are you can't afford to buy a home, and most people can't, to be fair, so you'll probably need to spend around $280 just on rent. The blogger said that $560 is left, with communication and transportation being the only expenses. Some men enjoy going out for late-night snacks, eating at food stalls, and socializing with friends over drinks. So, after all that, there's not much left. A man earning $840 a month can support himself, but if he wants to get married, it will still be a bit difficult. What's the decision you most regret in your life? I was 32 years old. To end my long-distance relationship with my boyfriend of 3 years and get married soon, I quit my $4,200 a month job in Shenzhen and returned to Changsha. When I quit my job, I was filled with anticipation for love, but I never expected the story to go so drastically wrong. If he hadn't forgotten his phone that day, I wouldn't have known that there was a third person in this relationship. While I cared deeply for him and never spent a penny more than he had, he was spending months' worth of his salary on bags for another woman. At that moment, I felt utterly ridiculous. The blogger said that after her breakup, she locked herself in her rented apartment, afraid to go out. 2 months later, she panicked when she saw only 3 digits left in her bank account. One morning when she looked in the mirror, she was shocked by what she saw. She used to wear full makeup after working all night to revise a project, but now she spends the whole day in bed without washing her hair. Thinking of her friends getting married while she's still single, she lamented, "When will this end?" Many men believe that older women are past their prime for childbearing, but this blogger believes there are several advantages to marrying an older woman. First, older women generally have better financial resources. And the second point is that she's emotionally stable. She knows how to provide emotional value to a man and won't act like a typical young woman, throwing tantrums and making trouble with him. The third point is that she's an emotionally stable mother, right? And also an emotionally stable wife. Because this love is hard-earned, she cherishes her married life even more. Blogger Wen said she's 30 and still single, and many people are urging her to get married. Some say, don't be too demanding, try dating first, experience it, and realize that life with 2 people is definitely better than being alone. This makes her feel that staying single is abnormal. Honestly, I've already come to terms with being single for the rest of my life. I saw it coming. Think about it, if I couldn't make it happen in the past 10 years plus, what are the chances I'll suddenly meet someone in the next 5? And I'm not planning to go through blind dates or rush into something to get it over with. I still hope for something more natural, something that comes with a genuine spark. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.